A family never calls a rehab center at the first sign of trouble. If they are calling, it means they have waited and tried a lot of things. Like they have watched the person change, they have tried to explain them, have cried a lot and hidden things from relatives, or they might have protected their loved one from consequences. And they have also lost their patients many times, but still they love them and want to help them. And that's why sending someone you love to rehab is so painful. As a caregiver, it can feel like you are giving up on them, but that's not true. Sending your loved one to rehab is the right way to help them. In this video, we are going to see how the first 30 days of rehab actually look like. This is not just an attempt to show how rehab will help your loved one heal and recover. It is also an attempt to address the questions and doubts in your mind.
Before we even talk about counseling, therapy, or behavior change, we need to understand one thing. In the first few days, the person struggling with addiction is not thinking from a calm brain. They are thinking from an addiction brain. And an addiction brain is not simply a weak brain. It is a brain that has been trained to survive through the substances, be it alcohol or drugs. So when the substance is removed, their body will not immediately get ready to heal. It reacts in all possible ways. For example, they'll go through sleep disturbances, mood swings, restlessness, intense cravings, and be very irritable to even small things. These are withdrawal symptoms. Some people may get shaking, sweating, anxiety, digestive issues, and body pain. In some cases, withdrawal can also affect blood pressure, heart rate, confusion, or physical safety. That is why detox should not be treated casually. It has to be medically supervised because detox is about helping the body cross that first unstable phase with safety, monitoring, and care.
And this is where people need to understand something important. Addiction is not only about craving pleasure. After a point, many people are not using alcohol or drugs to feel high. They are using it to feel normal, to avoid shaking, anxiety, sleeplessness, emotional pain, and that unbearable empty feeling inside. So, when the substance is removed, the person is not only fighting a habit, their brain is afraid, thinking, how do I survive without the thing that I depend on? That is why we call this process stabilization. Will help their body to settle down, nervous system to calm down. When this happens, their appetite and sleep becomes normal. We also understand their craving patterns. On a whole, the person has to feel safe enough to stay in a rehab. Once therapy starts, a person has to be able to look at their patterns, understand triggers, listen without becoming defensive, remember conversation, reflect on consequences, and take responsibility without collapsing into shame. That is very hard when the body is still in withdrawal and the mind is still chasing relief. So detox is not separate from recovery. It is the doorway and it clears enough space for the real work to begin.
During detox, the goal is to help the body come out of dependence safely. And while detox is happening, a lot of important clinical work is happening in the background. Doctors, psychologists, counselors, nurses, and the care team are observing the person very closely, like from their sleeping patterns, eating habits, intensity of cravings to their emotional patterns, behaviors, and memory. These small details tell us a lot about your loved one because recovery cannot be planned only from what the client says. It also has to be understood from how they behave, how their body responds, how their mood shifts, and how they react when they don't get immediate relief.
This is also when we begin understanding the person's story, not just their substance use, but their life story. We dig deep to understand the origin of the habit and what was emotionally happening in their life at that time. Like were they going through a stress or loneliness? Are there any history of trauma? Were they going through any painful phase in their life like failure or any kind of loss? We'll also look at whether there are some untreated mental health conditions like anxiety or depression. We will also try to understand their family history. For example, their family system. Are there any conflicts at home? Are they being enabled or overprotected? We also try to understand whether there is any kind of pressure, shame, or emotional distance, or is there any family history of addiction? Because addiction does not happen in isolation. It grows inside a person's biology, emotion, environment, relationship, and coping patterns. So, if we only remove the substance and don't understand the person, we have not treated the real problem. We have only paused the visible symptom. So, we try and discover the root cause of addiction.
That is why the first 30 days are used to create a proper picture of the client. Their medical condition, mental health, substance use pattern, triggers, family dynamics, personality, emotional wounds, daily habits, strengths, and risks. Only after understanding all this, the team can create a personalized treatment plan. Because every person does not need the same recovery path. One person may need more emotional regulation work. Another may need trauma-focused therapy, family counseling, or relapse prevention planning. And there can be chances of dual diagnosis, where some medical condition can be the root cause of addiction and they need help with that. Another may need structure because their whole life has become chaotic. So in Abhasa, the treatment routine and structure is not created randomly. The therapy plan is not created randomly. The structure is slowly designed around what this person needs to become stable, honest, responsible, and ready for a long-term recovery.
This is why the first 30 days can look simple from the outside. A family may think, what's big? They are just resting, eating on time, attending session, and following a routine. But actually, there are not small things. For a person whose life has been controlled by addiction, eating on time, sleeping on time, following a routine without negotiation, everything can become treatment. Because rehab is not only about stopping alcohol or drugs. It is about teaching the body, brain, and behavior how to live without depending on them.
And slowly, as their brain and body stabilizes, the person becomes more available for therapy. They begin to listen better, to remember what was discussed, to see patterns, and they will slowly begin to understand triggers and why they connect their emotions, relationships, stress, shame, and pain with substance. And most importantly, they slowly move from everyone else is the problem to maybe I need to look at what is happening inside me. That shift is very important because true rehabilitation does not begin when the substance leaves the body. It begins when the person becomes clear enough to take responsibility for their recovery. So, the first 30 days in rehab is when we are building the foundation for a long-term recovery.